Hi, I'm Greg, and this is your June 2011 accounting update.
Coming to the stage right now, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for a very talented comedian, a good friend of mine, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kyte, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, good evening. My name is Kyte, and I'm here tonight to discuss the current trends and issues within the accounting profession. The Public Company Accounting Oversight Board recently issued some warnings that people were auditing certain transactions wrong, and the PCAOB gave a name to these new types of transactions. This is the name they gave it. They called them Chinese reverse mergers. And I don't know if it's just me, but that sounds derogatory to me. It's like if you're sitting in a meeting, can you just all of a sudden out of nowhere shout, Chinese reverse merger? Everybody has to jump up and run around the board of the table. Or is Chinese reverse merger, is that just plain derogatory? It's like, hey man, how was the meeting? Oh, geez, that wasn't a meeting, that was a freaking Chinese reverse merger. The Journal of Accountancy, every month they have a checklist. This month's checklist is on how to maximize your internal audit department, and one of the tips is assess the reputation of the internal audit department among the other groups in the company. Pretty sure that reputation's nerd. I think it's nerd or narc. Anything except nerd or narc, you're probably not doing your job right. Internal auditors. There's another article about venture capital. If your company is pitching your firm to a venture capital company, a lot of time, you know who has to do that? The CFO, the CPA, and the article said, be careful. As an accountant, you might get yourself bogged down in the numbers. Don't forget to tell the story of your company. So go ahead, people. Tell the story of your company. You know, yeah, it's like back in 2010, that's when Steve-O here started sleeping with the secretary and snorting blue. That was the same year about, remember when you lost our whole withholding tax deposit on Red 23? Not the greatest year. It's part of the story. You got to tell the story. Are you an accountant? Big time. Nice. I can tell that facial hair. The Professional Ethics Executive Committee is working on a project to take the ethical standards of the accounting profession and put them into a systematic code. It's called the Ethics Codification Program. And in the accounting profession, we've had several codification programs. And the thing I don't like about the codification programs is the word codification. Okay? It's like that word, I don't like how it's said. It sounds like what happens to the fillet of fish back in 1997. You know? I mean, it was only partially codified, but you know what I'm talking about. Part of the ethics codification program, they're putting together a conceptual framework for the professional ethics, because they say this was the quote, a conceptual framework will help CPAs adhere to the ethical requirements, kind of like your mom warning you about hairy palms and going blind. Accountants almost universally bill by the hour. They bill their time by the hour. When I was in a CPA firm, I hated billing by the hour. Billing by the hour is like pissing in your pants. Okay? It's convenient. It might give you a warm feeling, but your customers do not appreciate it. Not even a little bit, really. This month's installment of just how effed up is our tax code. Under current legislation, energy companies can receive a $1 per gallon biofuel credit as long as they make their biofuel from certain raw materials. One of these raw materials, honest to God, they listed in the code, animal waste. So apparently it is true that BP is going to get a tax credit for all their read something else. Apparently there was a tax ruling that alimony is a legitimate deduction. Have you ever in your life heard of alimony before? Neither had I. It's a real word. When I first read it, I was like, it sounds like a made-up word, like bromance. It's like me and Kevin, we had the classic bromance, and finally mustered up the courage and proposed to me. And so we were joined in matrimony. But it didn't take too long until he started taking me for granted, so I asked him for a divorce. Now that bastard's laid on his alimony payment. I don't know. Thanks, guys. There's an entire article on offers and compromise strategies for maximizing the successfulness of an offer and compromise. Offer and compromise, that's how an accountant gets their client out of some deep water that they're in with the IRS. Offer and compromise, also the working title for my wedding video. Because I made my wife an offer and my wife clearly made a compromise. Finally, there's another article and it caught my eye because it said IRS wins historic credit fund appeal. And I read it because I thought I was going to be reading about some historic tax case. No, not true. It was historic insofar as the name of the defendant was Historic Tax Fund. And which I felt kind of suckered into reading the article, but it made me realize I want to start a company that's called Ridiculous Abuse of Power. Just hopefully because one day I'll read the headline that says IRS wins case with ridiculous abuse